every moment we're dying, and every moment we're being reborn for all times, for all times. At this moment, everything is being destroyed. Everything, this instant was destroyed, all dead, and then reborn again right now, anew. And death is not the opposite of life.
Speak.
Birth is the opposite of death. Birth and death, that's the birth and death cycle. That is the inspiration. That's the birth. The expiration is the death. It's happening every moment. But life is all there is. Regardless, no matter what, life is all there is. So when I think about a physical body perishing or leaving from the physical world, or decaying and eventually separating itself from an awareness and the animating principle, I ask myself, why? Why does it happen? Who did it? Who mandated it? Who programmed it? Was it God? Was it Satan? Was it nature? Was it genes? Was it Baron Samedi or Baron, or was it the Gedes? Who mandated it? And am I him? Am I them? Am I that? Do I supersede that? Am I the sovereign? Am I the lawgiver? Am I the programmer? So these are the questions I ask around death. And I still look to understand it all. But as I'm alive now, as long as I'm alive now, I have this immortality. That is what I like to focus on, physical immortality. And as we said before, life is all there is. So there will never be a time when we are not alive, even when we're dead, when we're born, when we're dead, when we're born. It doesn't matter. We're still alive. The dead, like Baron Samedi, is alive.
For sure.
Baron Samedi isn't dead, but he's deaf, So it's like, how does that work? I don't know. These are words. These are contemplations. But I meditate on physical immortality because I like to play with being my own lawgiver and my own programmer.
Yeah, man.
And if physical death is inevitable and mandated by someone or something out there, then that overrides free will. And free will is love. The ability to do freely without harming anyone is love. And to allow another to move freely, to allow them to have free will to do what they want to do as long as they infringe on no one, that's love. And so if there's something infringing upon my will to keep living, I want to find out who, what, and where it is and address that motherfucker. We're going to have a talk. We're going to have a sit down. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get this figured out.
No, I feel you, man. And I always share with people, man, I learned some of those principles, but as a horticulturalist through the compost heap, I always tell people I've been to many classes, many lessons, in my lifetime, but just working with the compost heap, that's where I got some of my true lessons, in understanding these processes, and, like you said, birth, life, rebirth, what we might consider the end or waste, fueling life and allowing it to re-emerge itself whether it's in the form of a plant or a human being. As we say, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. We go back to the soil. We come back, and we come from, we're from the soil. So yeah, I just always like to delve into that space and place just to get a perspective and bring the dialogue and the conversation up, because
Sure.
around kitchen tables when we're eating dinner, that's not the subject people want to be dealing
Well,
with.
those were my first psychedelic experiences as a child, to be real. Besides dreams where I felt like I was being visited by some extraterrestrial consciousness, the when I would sit and intentionally meditate on what total non-existence is, what being dead, what being not here at all would mean, and how it would feel or not feel. I would meditate on that. And there would be psychedelic experiences, seeing the space condense into non space, this white holes and black holes of my imagination that I'm merging with as my body disappears. As a child, like 6, 7 cycles on the earth, meditating on these things. Uh, so yeah, those are some of the major keys to unlocking a spiritual drive, is to commune with death, but not to commune with it like a fool. I mean, you can play like the tarot fool, like the zero, but not to commune with it like a victim is the better wording, because if you commune with death like a victim, you will be its victim. But if you commune with it like a friend that supports your life, then hey, who knows? Who knows? You may be able to keep going and dip in and out, phase in and out without ever decaying, because you're just giving off your cells and the atoms you no longer need. You feeding those to death. Death like, cool. I got what I need. It's like, all right, cool. Keep it moving. Keep it moving forever, brother.
No, for real, man. And every time I touch on this, on the platform as well, it just always brings to light. I don't know if you've seen the movie Big Fish with Ewan McGregor.
Oh, no, no. I need to
No,
check
but
that one.
yeah, well, it's just that, man. It's just, without, spoiler alert, it's just a young boy amongst his friends. There's a witch who lives in the community, and she can tell you how you die if you look her directly in the eyes. And a group of them run up to go and see where she's at, and all kind of get, daring each other to go up there, knock on the door and look her in the eye. And there might be 4 or 5 of them that roll up there. And by the time she opens the door, 4 of them run off and leave one of them there by himself. And she's like, you're a real brave one, isn't you? And she's like, what are you here for? And he's like, yeah, I want to look you in the eyes and find out how I die. And he does just that. She allows him to. And as you see moving forward in the film, it liberates him to become free, because what he no
Mhm.
longer has is a fear of death. And it plays out in the movie simply where, there's scenarios that come up where, he could die, let's say. And he realizes that, hey, man, I've seen how I die, and this isn't how I die, And,
Mhm.
there's a scenario where, he's getting into a fight and he's outnumbered by maybe 10 guys want to beat him up. And he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get my head kicked in. But he's like, this isn't how I die. Rolls up his sleeves, he's like, bring it on. You know what I'm saying? It's that premise throughout the film, and you see him, just moving forward in being and becoming, who he is yet and destined to become, the best version of himself, as some of us like to refer to it. So that's why I support the discussions, at least, and expressing that, that pathway for, for true liberation in the here and now. I always say, if you've got a test coming up, like you want to drive and you've got your driving test coming up at the end of the week, you're not going to wait for the driving test before you jump in a car and start learning how to drive a car. There's a preparation, that takes place. And I always highlight the ancient Kemites or the Egyptians that, they would always say, oh, these cultures, like you said, the Sadhus, the Algoris, they're fascinated with death. They got this thing about death, but it's like, once you deal with it, you move forward, like you just shared, man. And I think it truly is a liberating pathway for, alongside many others that are complementary to just fully understanding who you are and where you're going and creating your own reality, being a sovereign of your own destiny, for real. So I really appreciate the sharing, bro. And I know we could do this like for a good more few hours.
Yeah.
I would really like to think that we could just re-up and do this again in the very near future. But in the here and now, bro, just please just share with us how we access you. How do we find out more about what you're doing and kept up to date with Illuminati Congo, man?
You can check me on at Illuminati Congo on Instagram, Illuminati Congo on YouTube, Spotify. I got a .com, illuminaticongo.com. I think I got a breathingguide.com. You could find me at the Breathing Guide too if you really want to just tap into the breathing science. My books, all of them are available on lulu.com,
All right.
but then 5 of them are on Amazon. For the people who want that convenience. I got my own money coming out soon. Some Illuminati Congo money. So yeah, I'll tell y'all about what that's about in the future. I got a lot of projects
Wicked,
I'm
wicked,
working on.
wicked, wicked, wicked,
So
wicked, man. And let's not sleep on the music, man. How do we find the music, man, that you've been creating?
yo, go to the Bandcamp, Illuminati Congo. Go to the Spotify. Go to the YouTube. Go to the Apple, Illuminati Congo. It's all over. The last project I put out was called Rainbow Body. It's a song on there called Plant Medicine. So that's definitely up our alley here. And then the Rainbow Body is as well because that's a very psychedelic effect and experience that will happen when our soul envelops the physical body, and you could actually turn your physical body into your soul and then move through walls and fly places,
Sounds
teleport
like
to
that
different
Merkaba
dimensions.
stuff and all that, man.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah.
So that's a potential, to play with it. At least play with it in the imagination and with the breath and see, if there's any results.
Wicked, 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 man. Well, bro, man, again, I just appreciate the time, the energy, giving us the space. I look forward to doing this again, most definitely. If there's anything else you want to share with us, feel free to share, any last words.
Yo, I'm just grateful for this occasion, this experience. I'm grateful for all the listeners. It's like so much going on we could tune into right now, and the fact that anyone listen all the way through to right now to hear what we talking about, they really care, and I thank you, and I look forward to connecting with anyone who's here building. Just reach out to me. Let's build. Let's form a relationship, see what
Mm,
we could do to spread our gifts and talents and serve others and allow others to serve us. It's about that wheel, that circular breath, that receiving
mm.
is giving. You know what I'm saying? Remove the duality, make it just one unified breath.
Woo. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, I know we're in a current climate and we're not getting into it, but just that doesn't allow us to move as freely as we've been able to move physically, man. So one day I hope that I could invite you and get you over to Europe, man, and you can come and share what you do here. And
Yeah,
I've got plans to be back in the States in the very near future, and I've not been to Chi Town, so I'll definitely be looking you up and hollering and coming your way, man, as and
let's
when
make
that
sure the
comes.
link hit me up, and we'll definitely host you to some buds and to some food or whatever you need, brother.
That all sounds good, man. That's all I need in life, man.
All right, man.
All right, cool, bro. Well, again, much respect, man. Appreciate the
Thank you.
time. And yeah, man, I'll be in touch. This will be up sooner rather than later. I'm gonna keep you posted, tag you, and let's just spread the spores as I like to refer to it. And keep
That's
this
it.
fire burning, man.
That's it. It's blazing.
Yeah,
Congo.
man. All
Bing.
right, peace, brother.
Big up,
One love.
Baron. Yes, I.